She's beautiful.
This is Julia.
She's beautiful.
Julia's called a golden eagle. She is called a golden eagle because of the feathers on top of and behind her head, which are called hackles. And they do indeed glow golden copper colored in the sun. Thank you.
She's gorgeous.
Starts there, ends there. Julia gets upset. She takes these hackles and she sticks them straight up into the air, just like that. If you've ever heard the very old expression, don't get your hackles up, it started 400 years ago in England during Shakespeare's time. What did people do in Shakespeare in England? They flew hawks and they flew falcons. And if you read his plays, he mentions expressions from falconry in almost every single one, simply because it was the language of the day. So don't get your hackles up means don't get angry or don't show your anger the way your hawk or your falcon would. Notice how very close I can get to her. Don't worry about Julia biting at my nose or pecking at my eyes. She has bonded to me over the past 10.5 years that I've been working with her. And when I say bond, I use that word very loosely because birds of prey are not your pets. They're not affectionate by nature. They don't love you. They become used to, comfortable with, and very secure in the presence of their handlers.
So
They
beautiful.
are quite wary of people that they're not used to seeing on a regular basis. I call this a bond and I keep it going for a number of reasons, not the least of which Julia might live to be 40 years old. She's 21. She can outlive me. The time that we have together, I don't want her ever to be fearful of me because in fear she might strike out with those feet. And I told you earlier, a 3-pound red-tailed hawk puts your foot in your arm, you can't get it out.
Wow.
A 15-pound golden eagle just puts her foot right through your arm, no problem whatsoever. Her back talon can reach 3 inches long. I just took more than half an inch off.
Goodness.
And she can grip at about 1,000 pounds per square inch. So collectively, what does all this stuff mean? Means right now, Julie could reach out, grab your hand, squeeze, port 4 holes right through your hand, keep squeezing, and break some bones inside. Off of a 15-pound bird. So picture this. When Julia was flying free in the wild, she could dive through the air at about 165 miles an hour. Have you ever stood near an interstate highway like the car goes 35, 20 feet away? Triple it. Picture a golden eagle with a 7-foot wingspan zooming past you 3 times faster than a car's passing you on the highway. She's after a jackrabbit in the desert. She breaks it to rabbit. Now she's only flying at 90 miles an hour. So let's get slammed with a 14-pound feathered brick with 8 sharp knives attached at 90. And at the moment she makes impact, she squeezes it over 1,000 pounds per square inch. And now you have some idea of the absolute destructive power of this particular bird, because this afternoon you were fortunate enough to be looking at the most powerful bird in the United States and one of the most powerful eagles in the entire world. Laplanders years ago used to carry trained goldens with them when they were herding their reindeer. If wolves came to attack the reindeer, they'd release the goldens. The goldens were trained. Fly the wolves, grab the wolves by the head, pin the wolves to the ground, secure them down until the Laplander can combine to dispatch the wolf, assuming that the eagle hasn't dealt it a fatal wound already. It tells you 2 things about golden eagles. 1, they can put a wolf on the ground. 2, they have the attitude to believe they're going to pull it off. They've learned to fear no animal except for us. We are and have been their only true natural enemy. Nothing is going to try to prey upon us to help those golden eagles. Julie came to us from Cody, Wyoming. She was hit by a car. She broke her left leg, which healed perfectly, but once again, a massive head injury blinded her in her right eye. So I'd like you to notice the difference. Her beautifully colored amber left eye is sighted and is facing you. And as I turn her around, you can see that her right eye is quite a bit darker. It also looks more almond-shaped. Also notice that Julia just happens to be feathered all the way down to the tops of her toes. Most birds are feathered to the ankle, which is up there. What looks like the backwards knee of a walking bird is anatomically part of the bird's foot. It corresponds to the ankle bone. She's feathered all the way down. She's called a booted eagle for that reason, and she shares that characteristic with 30. Of the 59 different species of eagles that exist in the world today, about half of them are booteds. Goldens live worldwide in the northern hemisphere. They live in Asia, Europe, North Africa, and North America. In North America, they do not nest and breed in the eastern half of the United States. They nest and breed out west. They nest and breed north of us in the east in Canada. Although goldens are seldom found in New Jersey, they are found here regularly and seasonally because every fall a lot of the young golden eagles from Canada fly south. And they pass over our migration flyways, usually starting in October. But if you really want to see golden eagles fly, hit the migration flyways during the month of November. That's when they come through in their greatest numbers. Then they might stop and overwinter for a bit before gradually moving on, but by mid-March they've all gone north again. Usually by mid-April they've all gone north again. So we have this tiny window to see them locally. For that reason we don't get them often, but over the years we've gotten some. A number of years we got a golden eagle found starving to death in a baseball field in Bayonne. First year bird, first migration flight, first week of November, right on schedule. Came in completely emaciated, weighing only 6 pounds, was eventually released at over 12 pounds. 15 years ago, we got a golden eagle dying of lead poisoning in the southern Adirondacks north of Albany. We had to chemically chelate the lead out of her bloodstream. Once we flushed the lead from her blood and her tissues, she started to recover. Once she started to recover, I had to free fly that eagle to rebuild up all of her flight muscles so she was strong and fit enough for release. Once she was, together with the New York Department of Environmental Conservation, we attached a transmitter to that eagle. It beamed to a satellite, back to a website, threw up a map, plotted a point online where she was, and we watched that point go over 900 miles up into Labrador, Canada. So to never get that kind of feedback, that was almost too cool for us. About 3 years ago, I did a movie shoot with her. The movie is an independent film, now out on DVD. It's called Days and Nights. It was actually a remake of an old Anton Chekhov play. It's kind of a strange movie, but it's got a really good cast. It stars William Hurt, Allison Janney, Katie Holmes, Russell Means, Cherry Jones, Mark Rylance, John Reno, a few others you may have heard of or not. If you decide to watch that movie, I strongly suggest you zip through the first 3/4 of it just to watch her come in and steal the last 2 scenes. She was absolutely amazing. This will give you a little bit of an indication. Size, power, beauty, length of wings, width of wings, broadness of the musculature across their chest. Huge feet and talons, beautiful amber eyes, subtle colors of gold and copper in their hackles. Really cool pattern on the adult tail. First and second year golden eagles have a 2-tone tail. The feathers of a 1 or 2-year-old golden eagle, white at the base, dark at the tip. Now, check out Native American Indian headdress feathers from the plains. Those elaborate headdresses. White at the base, dark at the tip. They come from the tails of 1 and 2-year-old golden eagle. Shh. If you have more than a passing interest in birds of prey, want to learn a little bit more about them, we are the Delaware Valley Raptor Center. We're pretty far away from you. You have the Raptor Trust probably closer to you, but we are the Delaware Valley Raptor Center. We're in the east end of the Poconos. And so there's information, membership organization information, and adoption information. You can sponsor the care of a bird at our center. You don't get the bird, but you get this really cool adoption package in the mail, and then best for you, you won't hear from us again unless you want to. We won't keep bugging you. So if you're interested in any of that, go to our website as well. That's dvrconline.org. Follow us on Facebook. We have all that neat social media stuff going on. So check us out. And I'm going to put her away, and then if anybody has any questions, you can just come up and speak to me afterwards. That way you don't have to feel like you have to sit in your chair politely for the rest of the day. Thank you all for being such a good audience.